Welcome back. Uh, you know, no matter who's in the news as far as gaming, it doesn't matter if it's Sony or PlayStation or Xbox or Steam. Shout out to SNK and Plyon. They kind of just re-released the original Neo Geo console from back in the day at a much cheaper and affordable price. And I'm even hearing they may even start putting new games on it, which would be amazing. If they can do it, maybe they can get Sega to do it. Maybe they can get a bunch of companies to do it. All right. Like bring back that stuff because none of that stuff really reached its full potential. But that's a whole nother video altogether. No matter, going back to my original sentence, who's in the news is one thing you can always count on. And it's funny because some people call it out, but a lot of people don't. And I'm calling it out now because it's really getting on my nerves, and I don't understand how this keeps slipping by as if it's transparent or some kind of phantom or ghost that people don't see unless they're particularly cued in on what's happening in the environment around them. The big hubbub right now is that Asha Sharma, the new head of Xbox, is currently negotiating things like the price of Game Pass, new Game Pass tiers. I'm even hearing that Call of Duty may no longer be in there because Call of Duty is apparently the reason why the price of Game Pass went up to $30 to cover the costly amount of copies of the game they weren't selling on Xbox because most people were playing it through, logically, Game Pass. Why would you buy it when it's just going to be in the service that you subscribe to anyway? And that's Xbox news, right? When I go look at Nintendo channels, they're talking about, man, we might get a new Zelda remake sometime around November. They ain't thinking about GTA like that, right? We might get a remake of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Or we could be getting a new Star Fox this summer. Or I can't wait to hear about Nintendo's new showcase and what they're, going to be selling us for over the next year and some change. Or you go to Valve, and Valve is doing crazy work from Sandbox, which I see people calling it S-Andbox. I just call it Sandbox, which is essentially the newest version of Gary's Mod. If you're not informed, Gary's Mod is this ridiculously awesome mod for the original Half-Life, or was it Half-Life 2? It's Half-Life 2, forgive me. And it essentially was like a way to, you can make your own games on it. A lot of silly stuff came out of it. A lot of cinema stuff came out. A lot of comedy sketches using video game models came out of it. Check it out. It's free on Steam. But the guy who made Gary's Mod and Rust, which I found out recently, I didn't know he and his company were responsible for that. They're making this game called Sandbox. It's S and sign BOX, Sandbox. And apparently this is going to be Steam's version of Roblox. Yeah, anybody who spends $20 and gets Sandbox will get full access to all the development toolkits. You can publish your game from Sandbox. And you see PC guys talking about this with such excitement because it's giving you essentially free access to Source 2, which has been used to its full potential. Nowhere near, mainly because Valve doesn't make that many games. But when Valve has made games on it, and particularly like Half-Life Alyx, which is a VR game, you really see how awesome that engine is. Like, there was a video I saw of somebody holding a bottle with liquid in it, and you can see how the liquid actually moved in the bottle, which was transparent. Like, it's a lot of awesome shit that's going to come out of that, and that's coming out on the 28th. And it's $20, and there'll be games in it day one. So it's a lot like Roblox, except for you can self-publish on Steam, which is completely game changing. Like, that's going to shut shit down. Or if the PC guys ain't talking about that, they're talking about Epic and how they're fucking up, and they fired a bunch of people, and They're shutting down these micro projects within Fortnite, and apparently they got 3 Disney games coming because Disney threw them a big bag, and they have to capitulate to their new masters or whatever, right? And these are all the videos, but I'm saying this to make a point. You see Xbox guys talking about the Game Pass thing, right? For obvious reasons. This is the platform that they choose. This is what they want to talk about. This concerns them, the pricing and what they may or may not get in certain tiers in the near future. What games are coming out? People are excited about Halo, Gears E-Day. I'm personally really excited about Halo campaign remastered because I think they're adding 4 new levels to that, and it's 4 players. Like, no multiplayer, sad, but like there's plenty of Halo multiplayer. That shit is going to be amazing, I think. The new Fable looks amazing. My wife's a big fan of that series. I know she can't wait to get her hands on that. Forza Horizon 6 comes out next month in May. Like, there's a lot of stuff happening with Xbox. Some good, some bad, some mysterious. Obviously, Xbox guys are talking about that. But you know what's funny? Soros comes out, and I think either toward the end of this month of April or next month in May. And Wolverine comes out in September. You know what some of the biggest PlayStation pundits are talking about? Fucking Xbox. That's crazy, right? Like, you motherfuckers have nothing. Like, it's crazy to me. And it's not like you don't. Right? As a person who obviously shifts in between these different channels and loves to hear people who actually care about those particular products, opinions about those products, I get plenty of information from PC guys about Valve and everything they're doing. Shout out to No, It's Alex and a bunch of other creators whose names I can't remember because I kind of subscribe to shit based on whether I like the first video you see or not. So I have a lot of people I'm subscribed to. Because if you make something that entertains me, then fuck it, why not give you that, right? Shout out to King David. You know, he spends his time trolling PlayStation dudes and going back and forth with them, but generally speaking, he sticks to the Xbox news and talking about Xbox. And shout out to a numerous amount of Nintendo content creators. I won't mention their names because I don't want Nintendo to take my fucking video down, and that's a joke, obviously. But like, yeah, Nintendo's be on some bullshit. But when I go to PlayStation dudes, like outside of a select number of them, I'm talking about comparison to Xbox, which is crazy, and Nintendo and PC, it's a very minuscule number. They spend a majority of their time talking about Xbox. And it's like, dude, you don't even like that shit. You don't even like that shit. Sony's biggest problem, beyond the fact that they are spending way too much money on live service games, Sony's biggest problem is their fan base. I'm going to just go ahead and say that. Now, one could say that's Nintendo's biggest problem, and there's an argument for it. Many could say that's Xbox's biggest problem, and there's an argument for it. But at least with Nintendo's audience, they like what they're getting, clearly, because they don't spend their time talking about anything else except for that one weird guy. But I think something wrong with that motherfucker. I don't remember his name. I don't even want to mention his name because I don't want no problems with him. But I think he writes books or something. He's a bit out there. PC guys don't give a shit about console stuff unless they're making fun of console guys, because you know some of them are console warriors themselves, or platform warriors, we should say. And Xbox guys, they go back and forth with PlayStation guys, especially when they bother to go into their lives and talk shit about Xbox. Like, why are you even there? Right? While they're talking about games they got coming. But when you go to like PlayStation roundtables, it's a bunch of fucking Xbox talk. Like, Soros isn't coming out. Like, Wolverine isn't coming out. Like, you guys don't need to be putting a bug in the ear of the PlayStation executives that maybe they should be working on Twisted Metal. Maybe they should be working on Sly Cooper. Maybe they should be working on fucking The Getaway. Maybe they should be working on Ratchet and Clank or Jack and Daxter. Maybe they should be working on fucking, I don't know, Killzone. You know what I'm saying? You guys worry about Call of Duty so much and how Microsoft makes money with that. why aren't you asking these motherfuckers where SOCOM or MAG are? Where's Warhawk? Where's Starhawk? You wouldn't have to worry about, like, Sony actually has properties where they would not have to worry about Battlefield or Call of Duty if they just went back to those. And we're not even talking about AAA size ones, right? We're talking about taking a small team and making a game with a budget ceiling of, let's say, $150 million. Right? Since, like, I think the games that are killing companies are the ones that 400 or 500, ceiling them at 100, 125 million. And remake or give us a new version of Twisted Metal. Give us a new version of, and it doesn't even have to be a live service. You can make what you make, and once you're done with it, it is what it is. But no, you're not talking about that. You're not having those conversations. What is Sony doing next? You motherfuckers didn't even talk about VR like that when it came out, and I bought one of them shits. I don't even claim to be a pony, right? But I got one. It's just sitting back here collecting dust right now because Sony made one game for it. But y'all sitting on the fucking internet making whole fucking 2-hour podcast episodes talking about Xbox and what they might do. Because you waiting for them to publish games for your platform. It's pathetic. But then want to be the first ones to talk shit about a Xbox and what they're doing. At least they care about the platform they fucking prefer. You guys clearly don't. There's another cat, PlayStation dude. Always defending PlayStation. Always caping for that company. Motherfucker writes 8-paragraph posts on fucking Twitter all the time. Like, he's notoriously like, dude, nobody's reading all of that bullshit. Motherfucker write 8-paragraph posts about Xbox. I ain't seen him mention a single PlayStation IP that needs to be resurrected. I ain't never seen him write an 8-paragraph fucking essay with a PowerPoint and a spreadsheet from Excel talking about fucking PlayStation games that need to come back. He doesn't do it. He's obsessed with going at Xbox dudes all day with 8 and 9 paragraph motherfucking posts. And nobody ever reads all that bullshit because it's a bunch of bullshit. It's fucking nonsense. One, it's a bunch of bullshit. Two, you're not even an Xbox dude. Why the fuck does anybody care what you think about Xbox? Now, if you were writing about PlayStation stuff, I'd read it because you seem to love PlayStation, but I can't fucking tell. By your post, I can't tell. I can't tell what you give a shit about. Do you give a shit about arguing with motherfuckers you disagree with that are never going to be on your side? Or do you give a fuck about PlayStation? Because you don't talk about these motherfuckers. You don't. Like the guy from, the guy who does the character work for Spider-Man in the Spider-Man games just leaked a picture of himself doing some mocap work. Y'all talked about that shit for like a day. Y'all talk about that shit for a day and then you let it go. Like, bro, a lot of you motherfuckers don't actually care about PlayStation. Because if you was caring about PlayStation, you would talk about fucking Xbox all the time. I can't trust IGN because they're being paid by Sony. I can't trust a lot of these fucking publications because Sony's got them in their back pocket. Y'all could at least, you know what I'm saying? Y'all could at least talk about the platform you like. Stop talking about fucking Xbox when you don't like Xbox. We get it. Let's move on. Let's move on. It's boring now. Like, what the fuck are we actually doing, bro? Y'all just squabble all day with Xbox dudes about Xbox. You don't even like that shit. So why are you talking? Why? Why the fuck are you talking? Like, I'm gonna put this out there, and I know my voice is small, but I'm gonna just say this to anybody that likes PlayStation. Take a look at these dudes, man. You'll know who they are. If all they seem to want to talk about is a platform that they swear up and down they don't like, it's not in their bio for their channel. They don't talk about how they play on that platform, man. Unsubscribe to these motherfuckers. Walk away. Because they're wasting your time. They're grifters. They don't have anything better to do with their time. And they really don't like the shit the way they say they do. They don't. Because if they did, this wouldn't be happening. You need a better quality of independent journalism when it comes to this stuff. Because they're failing you. They're failing PlayStation. Right? I know there's a big joke amongst the video game community. Oh, well, the PlayStation dudes never get interviews with Sony execs. Why would a Sony exec waste their time with a motherfucker that talks about the other platform all the time? They probably don't want to. There's probably a chance that they would, but y'all don't talk about PlayStation. Y'all talk about Xbox all day. You so damn caught up in the council where you have nothing to talk about. These motherfuckers are in third place. These motherfuckers are in third place and your house is burning down. Y'all closing studio after studio after studio. The only thing Bloodborne related y'all getting is a fucking anime. Everybody gonna be able to watch that. Talk about that shit. Where the fuck is Warhawk at? Where the fuck is Starhawk at? Where the fuck is Killzone at? Where's SOCOM? Where's MAG? Like, we can't get a new Ape Escape? Nothing? Like, y'all worried about Final Fantasy going to Xbox. I remember it was a fervent amount of motherfucking PlayStation dudes. A mass amount of PlayStation dudes fervently fighting the idea that Final Fantasy VII Remake would come out on Xbox. Well, why ain't y'all asking for Legend of Legaia? Why ain't y'all asking for Legend of Dragoon? There's only one of them shits. Nobody said, where's Wild Arms? Like, y'all care about the wrong shit. Y'all care about seeing and checking every day. And I guarantee you this is the truth. These motherfuckers go online and check and see if Xbox is closing down. Microsoft has sold the brand message. That's what they want. That's what they want. They don't really care about PlayStation games. They don't. Because if they did, they wouldn't be talking about fucking Xbox. They wouldn't be caring about Xbox. Phantom Blade Zero is about to come out. Not even a fucking PlayStation game, right? They bought that. Don't see nobody talking about it. That's crazy. But you can talk about Xbox and Game Pass, some shit you don't like, some shit you believe is failing, some shit that a lot of y'all motherfuckers who think you smart swear up and down was financially unviable, even though Microsoft posted profits for this shit every year. Why are you talking about it? Why don't you talk about PlayStation? Talk about why it's a problem they're only bringing out 2 games this year when Microsoft has got like at least 6 or 7 coming out. Talk about that. No, let's talk about Xbox all the time. Like, you don't even like it. Please shut the fuck up forever. We don't care. We don't. You a PlayStation dude. These are your fucking the symbols you live by. XO square circle, man. Talk about PlayStation, bro. Please. And I'll give Sacred Symbols, Kyle Moriarty. Most of the time he talks about PlayStation, but even he spends way too much goddamn time talking about Xbox. Like, I've watched his podcast. He fills in a good portion of his podcast time talking about what Xbox and Microsoft's doing wrong. Why the fuck do you care? You're a PlayStation guy. You literally got that shit in church windows. Like, that's who you pray to. Why the fuck are you talking about Xbox? What's the point? Like, me personally, I'm not wasting my time talking about some shit I don't like. I don't get it. Like I said, and it's grifter shit, right? And I'm telling you, there's one or two things. Either these motherfuckers secretly like Xbox, which I doubt. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say that's not true in most cases. Or maybe PlayStation ain't that interesting. And if PlayStation's not that interesting, that's a problem you PlayStation motherfuckers need to approach. Because if they're not interesting, they went from 2017, 2018, 2019, where they were very interesting. Now they just kind of like, oh, PlayStation's doing something. Okay, cool. Now what? Back to this Xbox shit. Like, if that's what you're doing, y'all need to start sending messages to the PlayStation. You're not okay with some of the shit they doing. Because if they that fucking trash that you got to spend time talking about something you don't like, then there's a problem with what you like, not what everybody else is talking about. And that's the God's honest truth. You don't see no other community doing that shit but PlayStation dudes, and it's fucking stupid. Absolutely fucking stupid. That's all I got, man. I figure I'd get that out because it's just like I'm sick of it. I'm seeing these dudes, this hardcore PlayStation dudes, always talking about Xbox. Like, dog, talk to a PlayStation leaker, please. Tell me something about what Sony is doing beyond 2 fucking games this year. One of them I could care less about, and the other one's involving one of my favorite characters. Like, can somebody who maybe got an ear to somebody else in motherfucking PlayStation, please just ask somebody for a new Killzone? Do that, please. Y'all bigger content creators than me. You're wasting our fucking time. Talk about PlayStation stuff, for the love of God. I'm begging you. That's all I got, guys. Catch you in the next video.